Your eye color is not random. It is biology. It is adaptation. And in some cases, it may only exist because your ancestors were selected for something unusual. Some eye colors protect better in harsh sunlight. Some are much rarer than people think. Some only appear when pigment levels land in an incredibly narrow range. And one of them is not even a real color at all. So if you've ever wondered what your eye color actually is, how it formed, why it spread, and what secret advantages or trade-offs came with it, these are the secrets of your eye color. Blue eyes. Blue eyes are one of the strangest traits in human evolution, because blue eyes are not actually blue. There is no blue pigment inside them. What you're seeing is light. Blue eyes contain very little melanin, so incoming light scatters differently inside the iris, and shorter blue wavelengths bounce back out more strongly. It's a similar optical effect to why the sky looks blue. So blue eyes are not pigment blue. They are light blue. That is also why they shift so much. Bright blue in sunlight, gray indoors, almost silver in low light. Sometimes they do not even look like the same eyes twice, and blue eyes are rare globally, found in only around 8 to 10% of people worldwide. They exist because of a genetic change near the HERC2/OCA2 region that reduced melanin production in the iris. Researchers estimate that this change likely appeared somewhere between 6,000 and 10,000 years ago. Before that, humans likely had overwhelmingly brown eyes, but that mutation came with a cost. Less melanin means less natural protection against glare and harsh brightness. So while blue eyes stand out visually, they are biologically less protective than darker eyes in strong sunlight. And yet they spread fast in some populations, especially in northern and eastern Europe. Something favored them. In lower light environments, having less pigment may have come with less disadvantage than it would have under harsher sun. And if rarity also made them more noticeable, that may have helped them spread even faster, because rare gets noticed, and once rare starts being selected for, it can spread surprisingly far. But to understand why blue eyes were so unusual, you have to understand what came before them. Brown eyes. Brown eyes are the original human baseline. For most of human history, almost everyone likely had them, and there is a reason they lasted. Brown eyes contain more melanin than any other common eye color, and inside the iris, melanin absorbs light, a lot of it. That reduces glare, reduces internal light scatter, and makes vision more stable in bright environments. So brown eyes are not just the most common. They are built for light. That is one reason they still dominate huge parts of the world today, around 70 to 80% of the global population, especially in regions with historically intense sun. Africa, South Asia, the Middle East, Southeast Asia. In those environments, melanin was not cosmetic, it was protection. And over time, that made brown eyes the most stable and reliable default under intense sun. But here is the hidden part most people miss. Brown eyes are not visually simple. From a distance, they can look uniform. Up close, they often are not. Gold, copper, honey, amber tones. Sometimes even faint reddish undertones near the pupil. Some brown eyes are so dark they almost look black. Others are light enough to appear almost golden in direct sunlight. So brown is not one eye color. It is a range. Brown eyes were never built to stand out. They were built to survive. And once melanin levels started shifting in some populations, other eye colors began appearing in between. Green eyes. Green eyes are one of the rarest natural eye colors in the world. Only around 2% of people have them. And the secret behind them is how narrow their biological range really is. Green eyes usually happen when there is low to moderate melanin in the front layer of the iris, combined with light scattering and warmer yellow-brown pigment tones underneath. Too much melanin, and the eye shifts brown. Too little, and it moves toward blue or gray. Green only appears when that balance lands in a very specific zone, and even then, it rarely holds one clean shade. Olive, emerald, gray-green, yellow-green, sometimes almost hazel. Green eyes do not hold one stable color. They move, and that may be part of why they attract so much attention. Things that are rare and hard to define tend to hold visual interest longer. That is one reason green eyes have been linked for centuries to mystery, danger, seduction, and the unusual. Not because of anything supernatural, but because they are harder for the brain to categorize quickly. And biologically, green eyes sit in an unusual middle ground. They offer slightly more pigment protection than blue or gray eyes, but less than brown. So in evolutionary terms, they may have represented a compromise. But green is not the most unstable eye color. Not even close. Hazel eyes. Hazel eyes are not one color. They are a blend. And more importantly, they are uneven. Most hazel eyes contain a mix of brown melanin and warmer yellow-gold pigment, but those pigments are usually distributed unevenly across the iris instead of sitting in one uniform layer. That is what creates the shifting effect. Green in one light, brown in another, gold in between. Hazel eyes can look completely different depending on lighting, pupil size, iris texture, and where the pigment sits. That is why they are often called the chameleons of eye color, because they do not stay visually fixed. And hazel eyes are relatively uncommon, found in roughly 5% of the global population, depending on classification. From a functional standpoint, point, hazel eyes sit in a middle zone. They usually have more pigment protection than blue or gray eyes, but less than dark brown. So biologically, they may have offered a useful balance, enough pigment to handle light better than the palest eyes, while still allowing more visible variation than deep brown. But visually, they do something even more important. They resist categorization. The brain expects consistency. Hazel does not give it. So people keep looking. But there is one eye color that does the exact opposite. No shifting, no ambiguity, no blending, just gold. Amber eyes. Amber eyes are one of the most misunderstood eye colors that exist. Most people confuse them with hazel or light brown. But true amber eyes are different. They usually contain relatively little dark melanin, combined with stronger, warm, yellow-brown pigment, which gives the iris a more solid golden tone. Not green-brown, not shifting, just gold, copper, bronze, honey. And that is the key difference. Hazel shifts. Amber holds. Amber eyes are also extremely rare in humans, often estimated at well under 1% globally. That stable golden tone creates a very specific effect because amber-colored eyes are common in predators, wolves, hawks, owls, and the human brain notices those patterns immediately. So amber eyes often feel sharp, focused, intense, not because they are magical, but because they resemble something the brain already recognizes as alert and predatory. And functionally, amber eyes likely still retain more protection than very low melanin eyes like blue or gray, while keeping a much lighter appearance than dark brown. So in evolutionary terms, they may have occupied an unusual middle space, visually striking, but not as biologically exposed as the palest eye colors. People do not forget amber eyes easily, and the next one gets mistaken for blue all the time. But it behaves nothing like it. Gray eyes. Gray eyes are often mistaken for blue, but they are not blue. Gray eyes usually contain very little melanin, sometimes even less than blue eyes. But instead of reflecting strong blue tones, the structure of the iris scatters light in a softer, more neutral way. That creates a silver, smoke-like, or almost metallic appearance. Gray eyes are extremely rare, often estimated at around 1 to 3% of the global population. And visually, they tend to feel colder, sharper, more distant. Not because of personality, but because they reflect less warmth. And biologically, there is a trade-off. Less pigment means less natural shielding against brightness and glare. So gray eyes can be especially light-sensitive in strong sunlight. That means they likely offer fewer protective advantages than darker eye colors in high UV environments, and may have been easier to tolerate in regions where harsh sunlight was less constant. They do not just look rare, they look almost unreal. But gray eyes sit near one extreme, the next one sits at the other. Black eyes. True black eyes do not naturally exist in healthy humans. What people call black eyes are almost always extremely dark brown eyes. They contain so much melanin that the iris absorbs almost all visible light. That makes them highly effective. High melanin means strong protection against glare, brightness, and long-term UV stress. In terms of pure biological function, very dark eyes are among the most efficient the human body produces. And that is one reason they are especially common in populations whose ancestors lived under strong sunlight for long periods. In those environments, higher melanin was not just darker, it was more protective. But they also create a very different visual effect, because when the iris gets that dark, the contrast between pupil and iris becomes harder to see. That means the eye gives away less visual information, less fine detail, less contrast, less immediate readability. And humans react strongly to that. So very dark eyes are often described as intense, unreadable, powerful, intimidating. Not because they are actually black, but because they hide more than lighter eyes do. So no, black eyes are not real. But the effect they create absolutely is. And then there is the eye pattern that breaks the whole system: heterochromia. Heterochromia is not really one eye color. It is what happens when the normal rules of eye color stop matching. And that is exactly why it is so striking. It happens when melanin is distributed unevenly during development. Sometimes one eye is completely different from the other. Sometimes only one section of the iris is different. Sometimes there is one color near the pupil and another around the outside. In many cases, it is completely harmless. Just genetics, just development, just variation. And it is rare, estimated at well under 1% of the population. But not all heterochromia is present from birth. If eye color changes suddenly later in life, it can sometimes be linked to injury, inflammation, medication side effects, or underlying medical conditions. So that part matters. But visually, the effect is immediate. The human brain expects symmetry. When symmetry breaks, attention spikes. That is why heterochromia has been linked for centuries to mystery, duality, and something almost unnatural. Because the moment the eyes stop matching, the face stops being predictable. And human attention is naturally drawn to anything that breaks the pattern. It looks like the face changed one rule and kept all the others.